Let's discuss about the colligative properties. So let's define the what are those colligative properties. The properties which depend mainly on the number of solute particles irrespective of their nature and related to the total number of particles present in the solution. Those type of properties we are going to develop colligative properties. It means that in the solution you know that the solution is which is going to be formed by which is going to be the mixture of the solute particles and some solvent, right? So here the solute the properties mainly which depends on the number of how many number of solute particles will be there that we require, but that is what irrespective of their nature. In any form it will be there, but only it is the requirement of the number of solute particles irrespective of their nature and anything. So that type of properties we are going to define as the colligative properties. And here mainly there are four colligative properties will be there. The first one, relative lowering of vapor pressure, that is called RLUV, that we have already discussed here. And second one, elevation of the boiling point. Third one, depression of the freezing point. Fourth one is osmotic pressure. So let's take one by one properties we are going to discuss here. So let's start with the elevation of the boiling point. Let's discuss about the elevation of boiling point. So before going to this one, just I take a simple experiment. So just imagine if you are going to take in water, water should be at the temperature, room temperature 25 degrees Celsius. At this stage, water which does not boil or which does not or it should not evaporate, right? Unless until you should apply some temperature, that is called some heat, energy, kinetic energy. So what happens when you goes on increase the temperature, right? When you goes on increase the temperature, what happens? Water which starts to boil. Boil means the vapor pressure, that is called gas form, that will be going to eliminate from the water molecules, right? That is called vapor pressure. We are going to tell it vapor pressure. So that's why vapor pressure which is directly proportional to the temperature. When you increase the temperature, automatically vapor pressure from the water which is also increases. So that's why vapor pressure which is directly proportional to the temperature. So here what happens, the liquid which starts to boil at the temperature at which its vapor pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure, that must be equal to the atmospheric pressure. Simple, I can take water which boils at 100 degrees Celsius, right? Which boils at 100 degrees Celsius, 373.15 Kelvin, right? It is in the form of Kelvin, it is in the form of the degree Celsius. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius or 373.15 Kelvin. It means that at this temperature, the water vapor pressure that must be equal to this 1 atmospheric pressure. 1 atmospheric pressure means nothing but the 1.013 bar. So that must be there. So this is in the climate, in the surrounding atmosphere, the pressure is 1.013 bar will be there. Bar is nothing but the pressure we are going to measure in terms of the bar. So let's take a simple graph. Right. So how we can tell this one? So this is called vapor pressure of the liquid, right? So you know that vapor pressure increases, temperature also increases. Temperature increases, vapor pressure increases. Now I am going to take a pure solvent. Right? So this is called pure solvent. You can tell this is a room temperature, that is called 25 degrees Celsius. What happens at this stage? It will be in the zero position, right? At 25 degrees Celsius, like this will be there. What happens when I am going to start this boiling this pure solvent? Pure solvent or liquid. What happens? This is called surface of the liquid. When I am going to start the heating, when I apply some energy, these molecules gets evaporate. Right? Evaporate, because when I apply the heat, how the temperature goes on increases, that vapor pressure also goes on increases. Like this will be there. First it will be like this will be there. Like this. Like this, which goes on increases. When you increase the temperature, the vapor pressure of this solvent goes on increases. And here I am going to write the dotted lines. So this dotted lines, which is going to nothing but this is called 1 atmospheric pressure. That is called 1 atmospheric pressure. How much will be there? 1.013 bar. So this when you start the heating, this pure solvent which gets boiling and vapor pressure will be goes on releases. Vapor pressure goes on increases. Right? So like this, vapor pressure goes on increases when you increase the temperature. And this point, at this point, the vapor pressure of called solvent. The vapor pressure of the solvent which cross this 1 atmospheric pressure, at this stage we are going to call it as the boiling point according to the definition. According to the definition, that is called vapor pressure of the solvent. So when it crosses or when it cuts this line, which line is indicates the 1 atmospheric pressure, at this stage, at this temperature, we are going to call as this one as the boiling point. That is called, denoted as TB naught. That should be denoted as the TB naught because this is the vapor pressure of the solvent. Right. Next I am going to take one more compound in that only, in that solvent. Now I am going to add some solute like glucose, urea, anything. Right. So solute particles, I am going to make it in a dot lines. These are the solute particles. These are the solute particles. Now I am going to apply heat. That is called energy. So what happens here? This is called solution. This is called solution. This is called solvent. Why it is called solvent? This only solvent will be there. And this solvent, and I am going to add solute particles. And I am going to add the solute particles towards this solvent. What happens? So like this. This is called solution. So now what happens? When you increase the temperature, this vapor pressure it takes more time. I mean vapor pressure decreases. Why it decreases? Because of this solute particles which will be there, which will be immersed in the solution, right? That's why it takes some time or it requires very vapor pressure will be decreases. Vapor pressure will be decreases compared to the solvent. This solvent vapor pressure increases because I am not going to add any solute here, but I am going to add some solute here. That's why vapor pressure decreases. Now I am going to take a graph like this. Like this will be the graph. And once again, this is called solution. The vapor pressure of the solution when it crosses or when it cuts this atmospheric pressure, at this stage we are going to call as the once again boiling point of the solution. So at this point, I am going to write it as this denoted as TB because this is a vapor pressure of the solution and this is called vapor pressure of the solvent. At this stage, we are going to cut this point. That is called TB naught and TB. And this difference we are going to call as the delta TB. That is difference means delta TB that is equal to difference in that one TB naught minus TB. Right? This I am going to call as the elevation of the boiling point. Elevation of boiling point. This is called delta TB. So after this one, let's continue with the derivation part of the elevation of the boiling point. So that is start with here delta TB, which is directly proportional to the concentration of the solute. Why? Because one of the colligative properties definition tells that so it must be depends upon the number of the solute particles, right? So that's why delta TB. Delta TB is nothing but this is called elevation of boiling point, which must be directly proportional to the concentration of the solute. Here concentration of solute is nothing but the molality. That is called delta TB, which is directly proportional to the molality. So and this delta TB, when I am going to remove this proportional constant, now I am going to take equal sign. So that is called Kb into m. In order to remove this proportional constant, I am going to take Kb. Kb is some constant. That constant we are going to call as the molar elevation constant. Why molar concentration? Because when delta TB is directly proportional to the molarity, then its constant Kb, which is going to call as the molar elevation constant, and it is its unit. Right? So Kb is molar elevation constant because the delta TB elevation of the boiling point which is directly proportional to the molarity. Molarity is nothing but the concentration of the solute here. Let's continue here. If Wb gram of solute, that is called non-volatile solute. Now I am going to add here, right? This is called Wb gram of this non-volatile solute of a molar mass Mb. Its molar mass Mb which will be dissolved, right? This solute which is going to be dissolved in Wa gram of the solvent. In Wa gram of the solvent, that I am going to write as like this. That is called molality is nothing but the just you remove this 1000. Molality is nothing but this weight of this solute, right? And its respect to its molar mass, then that must be dissolved in the Wa gram of the solvent. That is called molality. Why I am going to take this 1000? So if I not write like this, so that is called in kg of the solvent. If I write 1000, it is in terms of the gram of the solvent. That is called the WB. Now I am going to take the word WB gram, right? If I take WB kg, then 1000 will not come. If WB gram of the solute of molar mass Mb, which is dissolved in the solvent WA gram, means I am going to take the 1000, because you know that 1 kg is nothing but the 1000 gram. That's why I am going to take 1000. Now substitute this molarity values in this formula, that is delta Tb is equal to Kb into m. Therefore, delta Tb is equal to Kb. I am going to write this is called molar constant. What about this m? This m, this is called molarity. What is this molarity now? So you should substitute here 1000 into WB divided by WA into MB, like this. So delta Tb is equal to Kb into, this is the value of m, this value of m, now we got this one, right? Just substitute here 1000 into WB divided by WA into MB. This is called gram of the solvent, this is called gram of the solute, this is called molar mass of the solute. So now I am going to take here MB. Now I am going to take here MB. Therefore MB, what is this MB? MB is nothing but the molar mass of this non-volatile solute when I am going to add in the solvent, right? So that MB is equal, just what happens, MB comes here, delta T goes here. Kb into 1000 into WB divided by WA into delta Tb. So in order to find out molar mass of that non-volatile solute, that's why we are going to use this formula. So this is called a complete properties of the elevation of the boiling point. In order to find out the molar mass of the solute, that's we are going to use this formula. This is called elevation of boiling point. Let's discuss about the depression in the freezing point. So let's take an freezing point definition. The freezing point of a substance is defined as the temperature at which the vapor pressure of a substance in its liquid phase is equal to its vapor pressure in the solid phase. So just you are going to consider as water first, right? So you know this container, I am going to take in water, right? This is called an water or is a pure solvent, right? What about its vapor pressure? When temperature increases, its vapor pressure is also increases, right? So now I am going to take this water form in solid phase, that is called ice cubes, right? So that is called ice. Now I am going to take an ice. What happens here? That vapor pressure always decreases in the solid phase, right? The vapor pressure will be higher in the liquid phase than this vapor pressure in the solid phase, right? So let's take a graph here. Once again, the graph between the vapor pressure versus temperature. This is temperature and this is called vapor pressure. So when this liquid comes to solid state, yes, when you are going to decrease the temperature, that is called freezing. You are going to freezing this liquid, then you are going to obtain this solid phase, right? When the temperature goes on decreases, its vapor pressure goes on decreases. So if you take this solid state, what happens? When you are going to decrease the temperature of this liquid state, and you decrease the temperature, I mean when you are keeping the water in the fridge, right, refrigerator, what happens? That becomes solid, right? Then what happens? The vapor pressure obviously decreases, right? Now I am going to take this solid state. Now, so when I am going to decrease the temperature of this liquid state, we are going to obtain the ice cubes in the solid form, right? So now I am going to take when the temperature goes on decreases, the vapor pressure also decreases. So this is called the solid phase. This is called the solid phase, right? This is called solid phase. When temperature goes on decreases, the vapor pressure also goes on decreases. Now I am going to take a pure solvent. Pure solvent, in that case, what happens in the pure solvent? So let's take here. Same in the liquid state also. When temperature goes on decreases, the vapor pressure will be automatically it decreases, because vapor pressure which is directly proportional to temperature. If you raise in the temperature, vapor pressure will be rises. If you decrease in the temperature, vapor pressure automatically it decreases. So now I am going to take a solvent phase. When temperature goes on decreases, its vapor pressure also goes on decreases. So this is called a pure solvent. This is called a pure solvent. What about now? I am going to add some solute. That is called a solution, right? So now I am going to add some solute like urea or glucose in that solvent. What happens now? Automatically vapor pressure goes on decreases. rather than the solvent, pure solvent, because now I am going to add a non-volatile solute. This is called solution. Now automatically its vapor pressure decreases. Now I am going to take this one. So this is called vapor pressure of the solution, and the point at which, here you can come to the definition, the temperature at which the vapor pressure of a substance in its liquid phase, that is equal to vapor pressure in the solid phase. This is called solid phase, this is called liquid phase, right? At this stage, at this temperature, right, that liquid reaches to solid. So this is called TF naught. This is called TF naught. TF naught is nothing but the freezing point of this pure solvent. What about this one? Now I am going to take this point. This is called TF. So TF is nothing but the freezing point of the solution. Solution is when you are going to add some non-volatile solute which is going to be dissolved in the solvent, that is called solution. This is called TF, and this difference now I am going to call as the delta TF. This is called delta TF. Delta TF is nothing but the depression in the freezing point. This is called depression in freezing point. Depression in the freezing point. And you know this difference, delta TF is equal to TF naught minus TF. This is difference. So this is very much similar to this one, elevation of the boiling point. Same derivations, only that one term changes, that instead of B you are going to write freezing. That B indicates boiling point, this F indicates the freezing point. Derivation is also, it's very similar to that of this one, boiling point. So same here, then here delta TF, that must be directly proportional to the concentration of solute. That concentration of solute we are going to call as the molality, right? So in order to remove this proportional constant, delta TF, that is equal to Kf into M, where that side you have written Kb, right? That is called molar constant of that elevation of boiling point, right? Here also this Kf is going to call as the molar depression, molar depression constant. This is called molar depression constant. That Kb is called molar elevation point, elevation constant. This is Kf is called molar depression constant. The unit will be same as that boiling point also for mole. So now I am going to write directly molarity formula in case of the gram, right? 1000, right? I am going to write in form of the gram. Now I am going to take Wb. Wb is nothing but the weight of the solute. Which solute? It is called non-volatile solute, and its respective molar mass. This molar mass, right? Molar mass of that solute, in which is going to be dissolved in the Wa gram of the solvent. So this weight of this non-volatile solute which contains the molar mass, which is going to be dissolved in the Wa gram of the solvent. Now I am going to substitute this M in this case. That is delta TF is equal to, what is the value of M here? Okay, first I should write Kf into M. M is 1000 into Wb divided by Wa into Mb. Only difference is, that is what, Kf and Kb. So now what I have got, now I am going to get this Mb, that is called molar mass of the non-volatile solute, that is equal to Kf into 1000 Wb divided by Wa into this delta TF comes to the denominator. So this is the formula. This is about the colligative properties of the freezing point.